Hey guys, so today we're gonna do a 24 makeup items that I wanna work through in the year 24. This might be unrealistic, but I'm hoping that I can get through them. So I made a huge list. I went through my collection and I went through and picked out like 32 items and then I whittled it down to 24. These are all gonna be products that I am gonna keep in a basket on my vanity so that I'm reminded to reach for them and use them more because I need to start using these products up, guys. I have palettes, I have foundation, concealer, lip products, everything, and we're gonna do a full face today with all of the items that I'm gonna try to use up. So first thing is the NYX Marshmallow Primer. I love this stuff. It smells so good. I just feel like I don't ever really do primer. I don't know why not. So I'm just gonna do a little bit here. But it smells good and I have it, so I gotta use it. I'm just gonna put some just in like the T-zone. So this should be something that I should be able to get through if I'm reminded to put it on every time I do my makeup. So next is the e.l.f. This is the Halo Glow Liquid Filter. When this first came out and when I first got it, I was really excited about it and I was using it a bunch. But I haven't reached for it in a while and I don't want it to go to waste. And I do think it looks really nice under a foundation, even like a more like matte full coverage foundation, which is what I picked to use. So I'm actually gonna use my hands for this one as well. All right, so far no pilling, so that's good. And this is gonna look really nice under this foundation. It's gonna show more of my skin peeking through. On its own, I think it's a little bit shiny. So this is the shade, what shade is this? Shade 2 Fairlight, in case you're wondering. So now that my hands are so greasy, I can't stand that feeling. Let's get this off. Then for foundation, I only picked one because there's a good amount left. And if I get through this, then maybe I'll add another one in. But this I really liked. I just haven't reached for it in forever. And I also picked out the concealer. So this is the Catrice True Skin. So I'm gonna do the foundation and the concealer today. So this is the Hydrating Foundation, Hyaluronic Acid Long Wear. And I'm in the shade Neutral Sand. Hopefully that matches. Just got a mess everywhere, but this pump is super messy now I remember. I'm just gonna put some on here. And I obviously had to choose products where it was more of a match for me in the winter. Yeah, so this color will work good for the winter. So I've done this before, but I've never done it where I've kept all the products in a basket, like right on my counter. So then this way I will be reminded and reach for them. And I also gave myself a lot of options. So for like eyeshadow palettes, I picked like 3 eyeshadow palettes that I can pull from. And I also chose a lot of lip products because I find that I like to switch things up and I don't want to get bored. All right, so this is definitely a really nice coverage. Since I put the Halo Glow underneath, I think it makes it look way better. So you can definitely still see like the sheen peeking through, and I think that makes it look nice. I'm going in now with the concealer. This is the shade Warm Macadamia. I think it might be a little bit dark for me right now. I haven't used this in a long time. I also tried to pick out products that were like halfway done. So I didn't really want to pick anything that was completely full because the goal here is to get through it. So I don't want to set myself up for failure. So I figured if I could give myself some quick wins, then I would have a better chance to keep going. I'm also using this concealer for my eyeshadow primer. So I forgot, I also added these concealers. These are the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. 2 different shades here. I'm gonna mix them together, but I totally forgot about these and I need to start reaching for them. So I'll have 2 different options to choose from. And then for powder, I have the Maybelline Fit Me Set and Smooth. This is in the shade Classic Ivory. I do like a lighter powder. I've been liking using the pressed powder with the velour puff, but it's in the bathroom. I don't feel like going in there. So we're just gonna use a brush, but this is a really nice powder. I just added a lot of powders to my collection this past year. A lot of like loose powders that I never really liked. I got the Huda one, the Cherry Blossom. I also got the Givenchy powder, the pink one. And then one other, I think like drugstore one. Typically I don't powder up my whole face, but I left this like pretty blank. For a contour bronzer, I picked the Revlon Skin Awakening. This is actually a concealer. Yeah, it's a concealer, and this is the shade, what is it? Nutmeg. And I've been using this more as like a contour bronzer. I'll set it with a powder bronzer. It's a little dark for me right now because it is the winter. I'm obviously not as tan, but I just blend it in with my foundation and it works pretty well. Forgot how much I like that. I haven't used that in a little bit. And I really like this e.l.f. This is the domed stipple brush, but it's like breaking. I didn't get it that long ago. It's like completely broken. I'm gonna have to glue it. And when I wash them, I try to be really careful not to get water in the handle, but sometimes it's hard. All right, for blush, I picked out two because I wanted to have something that was more of like a berry red and then something that was a little bit more like purpley and deep. I have the Milani one in the shade Nude Kiss, and this is a really pretty cream blush. And then I also have, I picked the Rare Beauty in the shade Encourage. It's a little bit deep, really pretty purpley color. And I think we're gonna do, trying to see what I wanna do for my eyes. Let me take a quick look here. I think I wanna do Encourage today. So we will save this one. I'm just gonna do a tiny bit because a little bit goes a long way. I didn't pick any powder blushes because there were so many different products. So that's just one dot. It's so pretty. So I also picked the L'Oreal Lumi bronzer. It's broken and it is almost done. I love this. Such a big pan and so hard to go through. So I'm just gonna set down the other bronzer here with this. I only picked one highlighter because it takes forever to go through powder highlighters. And I've been using more of like a cream highlight lately. So this is the Super Shock in the shade Wisp. It is such a beautiful shade. It's by Colourpop. And I just like to take it on these two fingers and just tap it on. Do a little bit on the tip of my nose here. And a little bit on the bridge of my nose. This was one of my favorites for forever, but then I just got so many other highlighters that I forgot about it. But it is so pretty. I forgot how much I like it. I want to start using it all the time now. I only pulled one brow product, and this is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, and I think the shade's a little off for me. It is the shade Ash Brown, so I want to try to use it up. But I've been using like a brow powder again and then setting it with a brow glue, and that's kind of been my go-to routine lately. I guess the shade match isn't that bad. It's just more of like a warm tone, I think. I'm just gonna pop a little bit of the brow glue. This is NYX the brow glue over it. I use this every day already, so it is not in my project pan for the year. Just gonna put a little bit more powder on my eyelids. All right, we're gonna do eyes and then lips last, I guess. So I picked 3 palettes. I picked the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2. I got this and I probably used it for like the first, I don't know, maybe like few times I did my makeup, and then I kind of haven't reached for it in a while, and it's really pretty. So many like everyday looks that you can do. So definitely want to start using this. And then I added in the Tartelette Juicy palette, which is one of my favorites. Love this palette. So many great colors, especially for the winter, I feel like. I love using purple and pink tones. Definitely want to start reaching for it more. And then the last one I picked is at Foresight. This is a Colourpop palette, the Raw Beauty Kristi collaboration. Such beautiful jewel tones. I got this because I loved all these rich jewel tones, but I feel like I've barely used it and I got it a while ago. So I think I'm actually gonna go with it today since this evergreen shade is so pretty. It's like a dual chrome, and I went with like more of a purple blush look. So I think that we're gonna go in with Old Growth here as an all over lid shade. I haven't used this in forever, so I don't even remember like how the shadows blend or anything. So far, so good. And I'm gonna put that really pretty green dual chrome on my lid. I think that'll look nice. So by the end of the year, I wanna see some really good wear on all of these palettes. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this on my lids. And then I'm gonna go in with that really pretty shade. It's called Evergreen. It looks like it's a dual chrome. And I think it'll work much better with the glue. Speaking of Colourpop, did you guys see the new Twilight collection? I don't know when it's coming out. I think it's coming out soon, but I was all over like TikTok last night. I was looking at it. What do you guys think of it? So I like this. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know how it's showing on the camera. I'm gonna take a shade from the Juicy palette. I'm gonna take the shade up top, Water Lily, I believe it's called, and then also Wishful, and kind of mix the two of those together. I feel like my eyebrows look much thicker than I usually do them with that pencil. They just look a little bit more boxy. I'm gonna take the Homegrown shade, this deep shade right here, and I'm gonna put it on the outside. And I'm gonna take that Old Growth shade again, and I'm gonna put it on the inner portion. And just kind of marry the two together. I'm gonna take the Water Lily shade again, and put it on the inner corners. Another product I have on the project pan, this is the Colourpop, and it is in the shade Ritz. It is a Super Shock glitter shadow. It's the most gorgeous shade, perfect for like a quick lid topper. You can do this with like a little bit of bronzer in your crease. So I added that in for quick, like easy everyday looks. So next up for mascara, I only picked one because it is pretty full. So this is the Telescopic Lift. This is that viral one from last year. It has like the really awkward bristles. I have used it. I do like it. It's a little much to get used to. So I bought it. It is a good mascara, so we need to use it up. Just gonna give these a quick curl. So I'm gonna go in with the one side first that doesn't have all the bristles and just pack the mascara on. And it is very goopy. It's the only thing I hate about like new mascaras. It takes a few uses for them to get really good. And I'm also trying to do this from like a foot away from my mirror, so that's not making things easy. I can't remember how I feel about it for the bottom lashes, so we're gonna have to test that out. And the formula is very wet. So I'm going in here with no additional product and just kind of sweeping the mascara onto my bottom lashes because I don't want it to make a mess. So that was only one dip in. I'm gonna dip in again and I'm gonna put a second layer on here. It's a really good formula, but because of the way the bristles are, I feel like I'm having to work that much harder to use it, if that makes sense. But it is a really good formula. Maybe once I get used to using it, it won't feel so awkward. For lips, I have a few different options. I just picked one lip liner, and it's a very pretty, just nude lip liner that I just haven't been reaching for that much, and it is in the shade So Happy. It's by Colourpop. I hate the twist up pencils. I think that they're junk. Like, unless it's a MAC pencil. For some reason, the Colourpop ones, they just always like go back in the little hole. It's a really pretty everyday nude shade, so I figured that would be a good one to add in. And then I picked 4 different lip products. I picked a lipstick that I love. This is the MAC Cream Cup. It's a really pretty pink shade. I want to use it more. I bought it, I used it a bunch, and then I kind of forgot about it. I have a bunch of these. This is the Tarte Maracuja Lip Plump. This one is in the shade Primrose. These are great, and if I just put them in my pocketbook, I think that I can get through them pretty quickly. I just need to keep them in my bag, and I figured if I just focus on one at a time, that'll be better than just kind of always switching. And then I have 2 lip glosses. So I have the Fenty Glow Gloss that I love. It's like a really pretty neutral pinky color. Really pretty, could wear it every day. And then I have, this is the MAC lip gloss in the shade Please Me, which I think I'm gonna wear today. And it's a really pretty like pink nude. I'm gonna use it as like a lip topper. So we're gonna do the cream cup over this. Hopefully it looks good. Since I did line all of my whole lip and not just like the outer portion. We're gonna do the lip gloss over it. This is another one. I bought it and I like totally forgot about it, and it's such a pretty color. So I think that it all pairs really well together. Last thing I have in the basket is setting spray. This is almost done. And this is the Milani Make It Last. I love this setting spray. Really good, affordable setting spray. Feel like it's kind of tried and true. It's been around a while. So those are all the products that I've incorporated into this year's project pan. I'll keep you updated as I start using them up and get through them. And everything's listed and linked down below. So I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.